Well, great to see you both tonight. Robert, what do you think? Should they be there?
Well, they're there on behalf of Her Majesty's government, but Prince Charles doesn't just go to Thomas Cook and say, I want to go to Saudi Arabia. He's there, he's been sent there. He's having to create a dialogue with this country. I agree, I chatted to Sonny about this earlier, but yeah, of course, there's human rights abuses, but there are human rights abuses with many countries that we trade with, China. We have to do that sometimes. It's part of the business what you have to do. And there are, in this economic times, Saudi Arabia is a very important economic and diplomatic and political partner.
I mean, he isn't a politician, is he?
No, it's true. He's not a politician, but his job is there to drum up support, not only for the refugees there in Syria and meet the governments around, but also to try and, present the face of the British government. So I think it's important because, Saudi Arabia does have a lot of human rights abuses, and it's wrong for us to go to these countries and not say anything. Basically, that's what's happening. They're not saying anything.
It's deeply uncomfortable, isn't it? Because it looks like we're endorsing it, doesn't it?
Well, it sometimes does look like you're endorsing things, but, the Prince of Wales, as the heir to the throne, is there on behalf of the Foreign Office, on behalf of Her Majesty's government. The government want him to be there, and he's our super ambassador, if you like. You can't just stop dialogue with people just because you don't agree with them, just because their rules and regulations are different to ours. You have to continue dialogue, otherwise that creates a problem.
Sure. I mean, I don't think that we should stop having dialogue. I'm not saying that we should get rid of the Saudi Arabian embassy, but I think it's important, and it has an impact in those countries where when Britain does say, this is what we think about your human rights record and you should improve that. And I think that's the problem here, because actually nothing is being said on it. And the mistake is that we end up saying things with countries which are not our allies, and we don't say anything with countries like Saudi Arabia.
What do you think Prince Charles thinks of it personally? Do you think he has a personal... Because he's very close friends with the royal family, isn't he?
Well, the thing that's important here, Prince Charles takes it very seriously. He's actually learning to speak Arabic himself. The dialogue between the royal families of Saudi Arabia and our royal family gives it a different level so that they can communicate, not just on a political level, but on a personal level. Whilst this dialogue continues, it can only be a good thing. We're in the middle of one of the worst recessions we've ever experienced. Bilateral trade is hugely important, and that's what Prince Charles is there to
generate. So maybe he has more clout, Sonny. Maybe he will be listened to by the royal family more than if a bunch of politicians went over there.
Possibly, although Saudi Arabia has been our ally for about 50 years and we rarely criticised it for stuff like this. And so I think, yes, you're right in saying that we should have a dialogue with them, but it's important also for the British to say, hey, we have rules here, and not only that, we believe...
Position.
No, but that's the problem, though. That's why we're not saying anything.
I mean, he has no compunction in talking about the environment. Yes, but he does get involved in politics.
He's there to represent the Queen. He's there on a diplomatic mission. He's not there to expound. He's not there to expound his personal views. He's there to on behalf of the government.
He does tell us his personal views a lot, doesn't he?
Yes, but on this one, it would create a massive political problem, and I don't think that's wise. It's important.
What would you like him to do? Just very briefly, Sonny, because we have to finish it now.
Sure.
What would you like Prince Charles to do?
I think it's important for Britain not to have double standards, and I think in cases like this, yes, I think it's important for him to say, no, we do think that the Saudi Arabian human rights record should be improved, and it's important that the world pay attention to that.
And just briefly, in private, do you think he'll raise that? Because you know the man.
No, but he did do it once when the Chinese president came here, and he refused to go to a banquet.
Okay.
He does take these things very seriously.
We have to leave it there, gentlemen. Thank you very much.